Hello everybody, this is a very special book haul. The reason why it's a special book haul is I'm featuring a particular shop because it was amazing. I've been in Bognor Regis. It's a seaside town in the south of England, and it's near Brighton. It's got a fantastic bookshop called Haygate's Bookshop. It's just next to the railway station, and absolutely recommend you go. Here is some photos of my visit there. Yeah, so what I'm hoping to do is convey the huge amount of books that are in this amazing bookshop. As you can see, there's shelves upon shelves upon shelves, thousands of books. There's the owner there. He was really, really nice, really friendly. You've got the different sections there. You've got poetry and verse there. And you've got the children's book section there. I wanted to take a photo of that. It looks really cool, and it's really big as well. And there's even an LGBTQ section, which is nice to see. And there's a bit there for foreign language books. So books are in foreign language. When do you ever see a comic strip section? That was pretty cool to see. This is the classic section. So you've got sort of Thomas Hardy. You've got all the kind of you got a massive load of Roald Dahl there, and Dostoevsky in the corner there. So that's quite a big section as well. So I mean, if you wanted to look for anything, huge section there of George Orwell books. If you wanted to find anything, you'd probably find it here. It's amazing, and I wanted to show you how it's all double-breasted. So there's every single shelf you can see has got twice as many books in it. And you've got all these. I did quite a few photos of the science fiction section, as you can see, just so you can get a good sense of all the classic authors that were there, like Moorcock, Simak. Huge load of Anne McCaffrey. It took up about 2 shelves, and there was a whole load of Game of Thrones books as well that was across one shelf. Loads of A.E. Van Voigt there. Tons and tons of classic authors. If you wanted it, you'd probably find it. Loads of Larry Niven. That was stacked around the back as well. Frank Herbert, Heinlein, Jose Farmer, tons and tons of classic authors. And this is the horror section, so you've got some Richard Lehman there, and tons and tons of James Herbert there. Look, so that was a whole shelf of James Herbert. Stephen King's got his own display, and that was like 3 shelves worth of Stephen King. And if you you just think, oh well, that's loads, and then you find this other door where there's a whole load of other kind of shelves, rooms. It's crazy. So many different nooks and crannies. This is the price guide, so it shows you how cheap these books were as well, and quite a simple way of pricing them up as well. And that worked really well, I think. So loads and loads of bargains as well. That's my friend there at the back there looking at the horror section. She was just about to buy a bunch of James Herbert books, and that's all the Doctor Who stuff and that in that section. So Haygate's Bookshop. Absolutely phenomenal in Bognor Regis. Definitely recommend you have a look. Really, really, really good. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you what I bought there because there was so much there. It was ridiculous. They've got an interesting return policy where you can get some money off some books if you take some back, and it's evident that you bought the books in that shop because the sticker's very distinctive, and they will know that you bought it from that shop. I mean, they'll do an exchange thing anyway, but there's a specific deal you get if it came from that shop. But the shop is insane. It's like literally one of the best bookshops I've been in. And if you were looking for something, you'd probably find it. So I found some amazing things. I've got the bag here, and such fantastic things I found. And actually, when I show you the first book, I'll show you what I mean by the stickers. So this is John Scalzi's Old Man's War series, and this is the 4th book. So I've got the first 2, and Zoe's Tale is the 3rd book. I haven't got that, but I got that because it was 80p. So if there's a number 1 on it, a sticker with number 1, it's 80p. They just got literally 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that sticker tells you what the price is. It's like a price guide. And yeah, I mean, this was a great find. 80p, crazy. Really good condition. So there we are. I got another one of these Fools books from Robert Asprin. So I don't know if they're any good, but I seem to be collecting them. So this can go with the others. Fool's Paradise. So hopefully that's funny. This was a great find. Joanna Russ's Female Man. So I've wanted this for a long time, but I've never seen it out in the wild. So could have bought it on eBay or something, but I was hoping to find it, and I have. What a great vintage cover that is. So this is famously a very important and forward-thinking feminist science fiction book. And Kate Wilhelm, who's famous for... I saw it a minute ago. She's most famous for this book, actually, I just happened to have near me, which is the Where Late the Sweet Birds Sang, which just happened to have that down there. She's also written The Infinity Box, which I didn't know about, and it's very unusual to see her books around, I think, so that was really cool. And again, it's only 80p. What? But that was a nice find as well. Very unusual to see Robert Bloch's stuff around. And this is a double, Ladies' Day and This Crowded Earth. So that's a really nice find. Another great vintage cover. Thieves' World. I used to have this, and I don't know where it went, but I've got others in the series. But this first one was a really important book for me when I was a kid, and I wanted to reread it, so I'm really pleased to see it. So this is a series of short stories based on a fantasy landscape, fantasy setting in Thieves' World. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this again. See, I've heard of Spares, a book about clones. I'd heard about it. I can't remember why I'd heard about it, but that was a great find as well. Notice there's a 3 there, which means that's £2.70, I think it was, if there's a 3 there. So, that was another good find. I've got another time travel book to add to my time travel books. Guardians of Time by Powell Anderson. So that was really cool, finding that. I've finally got Brian Aldiss' Earthworks, another great vintage cover. Called Wayne Smith, The Under People. How cool is that? And this is the Under People were mutated from animal stock to save mankind. They lived down deep in the forgotten corridors and caverns of old Earth, servants to the men who bred them in their own image. But even Under People dream and often have strange powers, and now they have a strange ally in the richest man who ever lived, the man who owned the whole planet. This is a book I used to have, and I noticed I didn't have it anymore. So this is Ray Bradbury's S is for Space. Again, these loads of vintage paperbacks I found with these great covers. S is for Space. I finally found, out in the wild, the 4th David Aliens book. Again, I don't know what happened to my other copy of that, but now I've got all 5 that I can reread the Belgariad, so I'm going to get onto that very soon. Another time travel book, Robert Silverberg's Up the Line. Another great cover, and I'm really pleased to see this because I think I'm going to really like this. I'm getting to know Robert Silverberg. And then 2 anthologies. This is a really interesting one. So this is the Penguin World Omnibus of Science Fiction, edited by Brian Aldiss. And it's significant it says the World Omnibus because they're authors from around the world. So you've got authors from Chile, Brazil, Japan, Great Britain, Israel, Romania, Poland, Norway, India, Sweden, West Germany, Russia, Yugoslavia, Italy, Bulgaria, Colombia, China, Singapore, Hungary, Holland, France, Australia. You get the point. So that's really awesome, isn't it? That was a really nice find. And then this one, I couldn't resist this. Another great vintage cover. It's really good condition as well. Beyond Tomorrow. And this is an anthology. It's got a forward by Isaac Asimov, but it's edited by Lee Harding. And it's got authors like James Blish, Robert Zelazny, called Wayne Smith, Robert Silverberg, Brian Aldiss, Powell Anderson, J.G. Ballard, Gordon Dixon, Damon Knight, Ursula Le Guin, Philip K. Dick. I mean, big names. So that sounds really interesting. So those were the books I bought in this great shop. But as I'm doing a book haul, I mentioned some of the other things I've bought recently. Again, some great finds. Another Powell Anderson time travel one. This is The Corridors of Time. So that was $1.99 in, I think that was in an Oxfam shop. Yeah. And again, another one in an Oxfam shop. This was Fritz Lieber, Night Monsters. This is a Fritz Lieber book with a Halloween horror kind of tinge to it, which I'd never known he'd done something like that before, so that's quite interesting. Night Monsters, they're short stories. So that's good. I found the Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. I found that in Swanage in a charity shop, so that was a really cool find. Again, really, really mint condition. So it's pretty much new. And it's only $2.50, so that's pretty cool. Cabin at the End of the World. I've heard a lot about this one, and again, I found this one quite cheap. This is Rabbits by Terry Miles. So this is a horror book, I think, and I'm intrigued to read this one. So that was another find I had recently. I put this out in a shorts video. This is bizarre. John Steinbeck, The Short Reign of Pippin IV, and it's like a political satire, and it's got a very strange description on the back. I don't know what this is like. It's very short. It's Steinbeck. Steinbeck's someone that literally, if I find anything by him, I'll buy it, because I've read 5 books by him so far, and I love them. So I don't know if this is going to be an exception, but yeah, if I find a Steinbeck I don't know, I'll get it. And 2 more. These are 2 I bought in Forbidden Planet. So I don't know if you've seen me talk about a David Quantick book called All My Colours, but that was a really good book. And I found this one. Didn't know he'd written another one. This is called Ricky's Hand, and it looks like it's funny but kind of sinister as well. I'll just read the back. Ricky Smart is a nobody, a Miami Beach paparazzi who scrapes a living snapping celebs. One day, Ricky wakes up and realises there's something wrong with his hand. It's not his hand. In fact, it's someone else's hand. How does he know? Because it looks different, feels different, and perhaps the biggest clue, it's got a 4-letter word tattooed across the knuckles. But hey, it's still a hand, and it works just fine, so that's okay. Except a week later, his other hand changes, and a few days after that, Ricky gets a new arm. Ricky's losing his mind as well as his body parts, but he has to pay rent, and those seedy photos aren't going to take themselves. The world needs candid shots of pop sensation and local girl, Scarla Jack, almost as much as Ricky's bank account does. Yet Scarla has a secret of her own, a secret that leads them to an unlikely partnership, the strangest support group ever, and revelations that threaten existence as they know it. It's up to the celebrity and a tormentor to work out what to do with a world of misfits, explosions, and other people's bad tattoos. Because when you've looked for redemption in all the right places, you might need to try the wrong ones. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, All My Colours is a bizarre book, so this is probably just as bizarre, so I couldn't resist it. And then also from Forbidden Planet is a really intriguing book called The Listeners by Jordan Tannehill. So this looks really interesting, so I'll just read the back again. Claire Devon is kept awake one night by a mysterious hum, but her husband cannot hear it, and it seems no one else can either. Gradually, the hum unravels the threads of Claire's life, isolating her until she discovers others who can hear it too. First a student, then a disparate group of neighbours searching for answers. But what starts as a self-help group transforms into something far more extreme and sinister, with devastating consequences. It's got a quote from the Daily Mail at the back, but I'll ignore that. So, yeah, a really interesting book haul. Massive spotlight on that fantastic bookshop in Bognor. If you're around Bognor, go in and you'll be shocked at what they've got, because I could not believe the success I had when I had a look at their stuff. Very cool. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.